All right, guys, welcome back here. Mike Cohen here on a Sports Talk Nation. One more video to do for you today. We just did a video on the New York Mets and their slump. Next video we're doing right now is we're going back into football. Let's talk about the Jets for a second because Aaron Glenn putting his foot down on mistakes and on problems. And for those fans, and I've had a lot of debates with people over the last couple of days, you wouldn't believe, it's really incredible. People saying same old Jets and all this other stuff after the loss and questioning accountability. Are you questioning accountability anymore? The Jets cutting Xavier Gipson, the man who fumbled the kick return that, well, it was one of two very big plays that flipped that game against the Steelers the other day. The Jets have released Xavier Gipson, and they are moving on. So this is a huge statement for Aaron Glenn. It's a huge statement for his coaching staff because they're saying, look, we are not going to tolerate mistakes. We're not going to tolerate bad play. We want this team to go out there and play disciplined football. He has preached that since he got the job last January, and he was very clear on Sunday when he said that if you are going to hurt us from winning games, you will not be on the field, and that's the case with Gipson.
The one thing to me that had to turn this game is, man, we can't have turnovers. We can't do it. We have to be a more disciplined team, right? There were some penalties that happened in that game that was true discipline issues. And, again, that's something that will be addressed because you will not be on the field with this team if you're going to cause us to lose games. You're going to cause issues like that. So we will get that addressed.
And a lot of people have been calling for Gipson to either get benched or released, but he is now gone. You would imagine that Jamal Pritchard, who was on the practice squad, could get elevated. The Jets also signed Isaiah Williams off the Cincinnati Bengals practice squad. Glenn knew Williams over in Detroit when Williams was over there for a couple of years. But there's going to be kind of a mix and match to see who can fill in that kick return, punt return specialist job for the foreseeable future. But I think it's a good move by the Jets. They had to do it. You can't go into this week. You got a big game against the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. You want to set the tone, right? You want to change. We've talked about changing culture and putting forward a team. As I said, it's going to be accountable. It's going to be disciplined. It's going to be focused. And this is just one step in that right direction. And look, even on Sunday, there was still, as I mentioned in my last Jet video, there was still things that you can glean off of that game, even in defeat, that were good. The offense was, of course, unbelievable last week. You go through any kind of statistic, they are number one in the league in offensive efficiency, quarterback rating, quarterback efficiency. They were phenomenal last week. And we'll see if that can translate as we go forward throughout the course of this year. The big problem, of course, on Sunday was defense let up a little bit in that fourth quarter. Of course, the penalty on Quincy Williams that resulted in a 15-yard penalty that kind of got the Steelers moving. And then, obviously, the fumble by Xavier Gipson, notwithstanding, kind of flipped the game on its head. And it was just a different game at that point. Jets were up by 9. But still, we move forward. This team... I like what Aaron Glenn is doing. I really do. And if you want little examples of it, hey, look, the Jets last year were one of the most penalized teams in the league last year. And while the Jets, I think they finished the game with like 6 or 7 penalties. They didn't get called for a penalty until the second quarter. And that was when you had John Simpson trying to defend his quarterback when he was getting pushed around a lot by the Steelers defense. So I like what Glenn is doing. He has this thing moving in the right direction. He really does. From the accountability standpoint, from the disciplinary standpoint, the question is, can they start to finish games? And I think that's the thing that we have to see from this team. As I mentioned in my last video, it's not going to get easy with this schedule. It's upcoming with the Bills this week, the Bucs the following week. But as the schedule moves along over the course of the year, I think we'll start to see some of this, the fruits of this labor here. But I would love to see the Jets go out there and find a way to beat a Buffalo team that was really on the ropes last week against the Baltimore Ravens. We'll have to wait and see. But for a move that had to be made midweek to send a message, to set the tone that nobody's beyond reproach as far as criticism and as far as being held accountable, well, there's your message sent by Aaron Glenn. Good job by him, and the Jets will move on. Obviously, Gipson will move on. He'll probably sign somewhere else. We'll see. Talented player, but it's time for both sides to move along. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time right here on Sports Talk Nation.